we'll be doing a bank configuration. I've created a document for y'all. Hopefully, the document will make it easier. Y'all can use the material also as a base. So, financial accounting. So, the agenda for this particular topic is bank accounting, introduction, what is bank master data, house bank and SAP bank accounting, bank business transaction, uh, bank statements in bank accounting, manual bank statement and manual bank statement configuration, process to define posting keys, posting rules, electronic bank statement, electronic, and how you configure it, lockbox in bank accounting. How does lockbox help? Lockbox again, and the cash journal. So these are the topics that this material we are supposed to give you an idea of when it comes to bank accounting. Now, in SAP Bank Accounting is a sub-application within SAP Financial Accounting. We do not refer to it as a sub-module or subsidiary ledger. We call it a sub-application. It deals with managing accounting transaction with your banks. It also helps in managing both incoming and outgoing payments for effective cash balance management. You can define all the country-specific parameters for manual and electronic payment processing, payment forms, data medium, settings for lockbox processing. This lockbox is basically used mostly in US. You do not find lockbox used very much in any country in Asia, for example. So when you're looking at bank accounting, when you look at master data and bank accounting, you're looking at two areas. One is in the sub-application area, which is a bank like Wells Fargo Bank or HSBC Bank or State Bank of India. What is their master data? So it is the name of the bank, the address of the bank, the SWIFT code of the bank, the IBAN number. All this is maintained in the bank master data. Along with the bank master data, in the GL also you will have some bank data which we refer to as house bank. So every bank that you use, your customers use, your vendors use will be part of the bank master data. Every bank that you use, that the business has an account with, those are referred to as the house bank. So bank master data is made up of communication data and control data, including SWIFT code, IBAN, that's the international bank account number of all banks. It is stored centrally in a bank directory. There are two ways to create bank master data. Either you create it automatically or it's a manual creation. So if you're going for an automatic creation of bank master data, you will first need to get a file from the bank. With that file, you have to upload into SAP. So the customizing path for it is the cross-application components, bank directory data transfer. For international bank transfer, you have to select the activity transfer bank directory data through the program. For country-specific data transfer, you use customizing activity transfer bank directory data. That's one way of doing it. The second way of doing it is to do it manually. That means type it into the system. The menu path is financial accounting, banking, master data, bank master, the record. The T code for this is FI01 and create bank master data. This is done through the SAP Easy Access menu. One part is the bank directory. A bank directory is basically all the banks existing which you have interested, your customer, vendor, the company is maintained in the bank directory. The house bank in SAP, however, is the bank which the company has its banking transactions with. So the house banks are banks through which you carry out your payment or receivable transaction. In the master record of the business partner, you enter the house bank in the company code data. When they say business partner, it means your customer or your vendor. You can design one or more banks in the bank directory as per your house bank. Okay, now over here they have gone into creation of a house bank. So I'll come back to that on the SAP screen itself. The business transactions in a bank include transactions relating to check deposit, bills of exchange, payment, and cash journal. We can proceed and configure the system to carry out various business transactions after master data creation. So there are two types of bank statements in bank accounting: manual statement and electronic bank statement. What is the bank statement? Basically, the transactions you have with your bank. The bank will send you either send you a manual bank statement, which is a printout of all the transactions you have done with your bank, all the debits, the credits, the money coming in, the money going out. In the electronic bank statement, the bank will send you through internet a soft file which contain all your transactions with the bank. Now, a manual bank statement means someone has to sit and either enter it manually or put it in a format and upload it into SAP. A manual bank statement is done by the business itself, not by the bank. Electronic bank statement, however, is a soft file that comes to you, which you upload directly into the system. Now, it comes in standard formats. So depending on the format, you have to create adjust your SAP programs to take it. Now, the function of manual bank statement is basically it can come in any format and you have to adjust that format accordingly. The account determination has to be done manually through. The transfer payment advice for cash, liquidity management also comes in this. Change of the opening and closing balance. The process of entering a bank statement has two steps: entering the line items in the bank statement account and posting it. So when I'll have done the configuration, so we'll go through the configurations one by one, and I will show this to you, the manual bank statement. Now, the difference between the manual bank statement and electronic bank statement is just another 2-3 steps where you have to identify the formats you're going to upload. So that is our configuration. Lockbox in bank accounting. So what is a lockbox? Can anyone tell me what a lockbox is? Since you're all working, you all should have at least come across this function.
So lockbox actually in the bank, like where the customers and vendors they will be depositing the checks in the bank.
Okay.
So there is a this is a logbox where they have to submit all their checks, and that's get actually paid out.
All right. Basically, yes. A lockbox is like a post box, which is created by bank and they'll have it in strategic locations where your customers can just come and deposit your checks with them in those lockboxes. We call it a safety deposit box. And then once or twice a day, the bank will send someone to collect everything, collate it, make it into a statement, and while the bank processes it on one side, a statement will go to the customer who is maintaining the lockbox. These are the checks we found in your lockbox. So lockbox service is provided by banks to process faster payments, reconcile the open account receivable invoices in a company. A lockbox is basically a post box created by a bank at strategic geographies where the company expects its business to collect its receivables. The company informs its customers to deposit the remittance into designated lockboxes, and the bank professionals make sure the lockboxes are checked frequently to collect the check remittance information. The process of lockbox ensures fast payment processing, improved accounts receivable, accurate and timely information in cash flow. Basically, instead of sending the check to the company, If the normal standard, if someone is sending a company a check, it will first write the check, post the check to the company. The company will wait for the mail to come in to find the check, and then write up the check and deposit the check in the bank. If a lockbox is set up within your vendor customer's business area, they can simply just drop the check into the lockbox like a mailbox, and the bank itself now has it. It will process it and send you a statement saying these are the transactions in your lockbox. So it works faster. It also cuts down the amount of time the company has to spend writing up the checks. They can just wait for the bank to send them a statement saying these are the checks that came in. So the company will send an invoice to the customer. The customer will process the invoice and send the check to a lockbox bank. The lockbox will create an electronic statement which they will send to the company. Either it will be done by a manual data input or an automatic, which means it will be directly uploaded into the SAP system. So using a lockbox clearing account, you post all payments directly to the GL bank account. So for lockbox is debit bank clearing, credit lockbox clearing, then debit lockbox clearing and credit customer account. In EBS, it is main bank GL debit credit bank clearing account. The types of lockbox formats, now bank has many formats. BA1 and BA12 are the popular formats. So there are many other formats, but the lockbox basically only supports these two formats. So what are these formats? These formats are basically files where the information stored would be like customer MICN number, check amount, invoice number, payment amount per invoice, if there's any deduction per invoice. If there's a deduction, what is the reason for the deduction? So this is it's like a TXT file, and this is how it comes up. You have to write a program that will look at this string and then pick up what is relevant, what is the amount, what is the invoice number, what is the name of the bank it is coming from. Everything is over here. So on top, the tables for Logbox, this is where all the data for the Logbox, the backend tables, if you're using Logbox, this is where it is stored. So you have the steps to define a Logbox. So you have to go through bank account Logbox, define control parameters and transactions. This is how you set up your Logbox. So in the first step here, you define the control parameters. The second step, you have to define posting data. When you're defining the posting data, you'll have to say where it's originating from, what is its destination, what is the company code, what is the house bank name, the house bank ID, what is the GL to be debited, what is the GL to be credited, what kind of posting document you'll be using, what are the posting keys for a debit and a credit, is there any other posting keys, credit customer and debtors account. So you have to define the posting data. In the next step, you have to define the lockbox for the house bank. So a lockbox has to go with the house bank. So then the last step is that. Now, how does a lockbox help? The clearing account is a non-zero balance. However, the bank account shows the correct balance. You post the collected amounts to respective bank accounts in addition to clearing the appropriate AR open items. If the payment is not sufficient to clear an open item, the logbook processing creates a payment advice that is post-processed. So you have to use, if there is a partial payment or residual payment, you need to use a T code FLB1. You run a batch input to update master records. So back again to the steps. Okay, if you all want, you all can, at this time, you all can log into SAP. Can you all see my Word document?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the first step for banking, we would be starting with what are we going to use? Now, in the scenario which I've given you all, I'm setting up here one SBI Bank Limited. Next, I'm setting up HSBC Bank. Now, the master data I have to create before I get into anything is, since in my company code which I had set up, it is 10-digit the GL accounts. So I have numbered the GL accounts accordingly. So State Bank I've created at 210, HSBC Main Bank I've created at 410. The sub accounts of the main bank are checks issued out, wire transfers out, interim posting, that your suspense posting, and checks received. So main bank is 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the sub accounts. You have to bear in mind, if you are setting up multiple bank accounts, if in one bank account 0 is the main 0 ends, that is a main bank GL ends with 0, then all your main bank accounts should end in 0. If all your checks issued out should end in 1. All your outgoing wire transfers should end in 2. Your other interim posting should end in 3. And your checks received should end in 4. You must keep to this synergy with every single bank account you create. Because later down the line, when you're doing work, setting up your bank account, some companies will have about 30, 40 bank accounts. So will be the one a GL account after the sub bank ending in 1 will always be a checks issued out account. So you can mask, you can basically, when you're doing the configuration, this part of it can be masked. The first 9 digits can be masked. And you only have to put 1. The system will know that if it is 1, it is a check issued out sub account. Is that clear?
Yep.
Okay. Now the first step is to create a GL master record. So in the system, I've created one for petty cash. I've created SBI main branch. I've created for Wells Fargo Bank, which is US. So you all can basically actually, my T code is 91A1. Okay. You all can basically use the information I have created over here to create your GL bank accounts. So what you all should do is create one petty cash account, which we'll be using for the cash journal. A State Bank of India account basically will be using just one account to debit credit when we are doing journal entries, or when we are creating invoices, finance invoices for payables, and we'll be using this account. For electronic bank statement and manual bank statement, you can use either Wells Fargo if you're US based company code, or you can use HSBC, which is INR based account. So when you create an account, in your type and description, it will be a liquid fund account, or if you have your account group as cash, then it will create it under cash, depending on the account group you have created. It will be a balance sheet account, your short text, your long text, and if you have chosen group, then you will have to put in a group account number. In your description, you will put in what is the account currency, and a line item display. Make sure line item display is on. In the field status group, it is G005. Is it relevant to cash flow? In keyword translation, you don't really have to do much here. So the first thing you do is set up your GL accounts. Now I've sent you all a sample chart of account. You all can use that sample chart of account to create your GL accounts. That is the first step. So to make it easy for you all, I've put bank accounting here. I've put a small table. You all rewrite the table with your account numbers and the names of your banks. Is that clear enough?
Yes.
In the second step, you create GL masters for the house bank. I've created a sample here. You all can go into the system and refer to what is done. Okay, once you have done created the GL accounts, the GL master records, now you can go into house bank. So when we are going into the house bank, we take the menu path. So now I'm going into SAP screen. SPRO, SAP. I'm going to financial accounting, bank accounting, bank accounts, define house bank. As before, we've seen the spectacles gives you particular notes on the configuration which you are going to undertake. If you want, you can click on it, read it up before proceeding. Or you go to the watch. Your first step is, every time you do a bank work, it will ask you to determine your work area. You put in your company code here. I've tried to make this document as user-friendly as possible. So this is the T code. I've given you a screenshot of where you have to go in the menu. The company, this will be the question you'll be asked, determine work area. You will come to this screen. You will click on new entries and you'll update the following fields. Now, I don't think I can make it a little bit more clear than this.
Bank key, what are we supposed to add?
For bank key, normally what we do is we use the bank account number. Because if you consider yourself working on in SAP as a user, what would make more sense to you? So bank country, the bank key, we normally give the bank account number.
Okay.
So house bank, we normally give the, you can, actually it is free as you want. So the company code is created by you. The house bank would be, if I've got a HSBC or bank, I can create it under HSBC. The account ID I'm putting as HSBC and the description HSBC bank. I could also put 1,000 here and 2,000 somewhere else for the account ID. But then how will a user know if I'm on the system? Unless I have to get very familiar, new user will find it difficult. So we try and match it to there's some kind of rationale to the way we do all these coding. So then you put in your bank account number. You have created a GL account.
Yep.
Now, if you have uploaded the bank directory, you can attach your bank account number to its IBAN. But if the bank directory has not been uploaded, it is best not to attempt that. The bank country, the bank key again. I've used the bank, as you can see, I've used the bank account number as the bank key. The address, what is the SWIFT code, and I have set this up. So now you have to remember, you have to set up all your accounts accordingly.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features? Bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
And Sam, how does that alternative account works in the screen which you have just shown?
If look at it this way, if you have innumerable number of banks in HSBC, you can use alternative number to distinguish between two different accounts, which will have the same account number if the bank manages your company account in more than one currency. So you could have say INR account, USD account, a Euro account, and you are managing it. So you can have, in this kind of scenario, you can have an alternative account to distinguish which part of the account is a USD account, which is the INR account. It's the ambiguous account number, actually. It is basically, you use it when you have to distinguish house bank accounts with identical account numbers. This usually only happens when you are managing a bank account with multiple currencies.
Okay, sir. So in that case, do we have to again map a
No.
currency code?
In our scenario, which we'll be doing here, we will not be going into it.
Got it.
There's no need to go into it. Actually, I think in 15 years, only one company has ever used an alternative account number. Okay. Next is the electronic bank statement. So in the electronic bank statement, in the scenario which I have set up, you all will override the scenario with what with your own information. That means if you have set up your chart account with a GL for 8, you will put it down like this. Try and stay as close as possible to this scenario. So in our scenario here, which I've set up as a test for y'all, the business requires an electronic document sent by bank giving details of transactions done by the account holder. The electronic document can be remitted by the bank in the following SWIFT format: multi-cash, BAI, etc. This statement is used in SAP to do an automatic reconciliation. The statement is uploaded in SAP and it clears various bank clearing accounts such as checks in, checks out to the main bank account. So we have the main bank account here, HSBC Limited. Let me add main bank here. Then checks issued out, wire transfers, interim postings, which you can have maybe your bank charges, or you can have a separate setup for bank charges, and your checks received. So when checks are issued out to vendors, it will be credited to checks issued out account. And when checks are received from a customer, it will be debited to HSBC checks received account, which is your clearing account. So in one case, so for checks issued, the transaction in SAP will be HSBC issued out account debit, credit, HSBC main bank account. In the same way, for checks received, it will be checks received sub account will be credited and the HSBC main account will be debited. All right. So this is how this it will work. Now, to set it up, we go to make global settings for electronic bank statements. The menu path is bank accounting, business transaction, payment transaction, electronic bank statement, make global settings for. So just go into that particular pathway. You all can see my SAP screen.
Yes, sir.
So it is financial accounting, bank accounting, business transactions, manual bank statement, electronic bank statement. The difference between the manual and electronic bank statement is just one step. In the use stop at manual bank statement, for electronic bank statement, you will be entering an EDI format. So it's just 1 or 2 steps more. So over here we go, make global settings for your electronic bank statement. You'll be asked to put in your chart of account here. Remember, chart of account, not your company code. And it will bring you to this screen. So the entire setup now is these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. So in this step, you'll go to new entry. Once you go into new entry, you'll be asked to There's two columns you have to fill in, which is the account and the text. So in the Word document, this is what I created. Main bank account, bank account, cash receipts account, incoming check account, check clearing account. So the next step is create account symbols. So you go to new entries, and in new entries, you'll maintain main bank, bank charges, check-in, check-out, wire transfers, interim post. Now I've given main bank here, bank charges, check received, check issued out, wire transfers, reconciliation account. You can put interim posting account, or you can put suspense account for reconciliation item. And you have to create this first. Create your account symbols.
So these are sub ledgers, no, of the main bank?
These are not sub ledgers. These would be sub accounts. Sub ledgers gives a different connotation. It looks at a subsidiary ledger. It will be have like a AR, AP assets. Those are sub ledgers. These are just sub accounts.
Okay.
So, do you think these notes which I'm showing you all are enough for you all to go through this?
Yes, this will be really helpful.
Okay. So just follow this, tweak it a little bit to make it your own. All right. But don't tweak it too much. So if I've given main bank, you all can put MNBK if you want. But it should be very clear in what it is. Once you save this entry, the next will be assign account symbols. It depends also on the version. Now, the next step would be assign account symbols here. You just have to make sure you're going down the line. Okay. Now, this is the can you see the SAP screen?
No.
Okay, let me do a new share. Okay. Now, this screen is an important screen. Even when you're working in the domain as consultants or on a support project, this screen is important when you're trying to solve issues. Many issues will come back to this screen. So the account symbol is bank account. As you can see, it's all plus signs, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And in check-in, bank charges is hard-coded. Usually, there's only one bank account where all the bank charges go in. You don't keep bank charges per bank account. Is that correct? You're all working as finance managers, accountants in the business. How many of you all keep your bank charges as per bank account, or you all just have one GL account for bank charges?
It should be one P&L account.
One P&L account. So it is hard-coded into this. Now comes the real issue. As you can see, check-in, checks received in 4, and everything else is plus. That refers to a masking. Therefore, when you are transacting in the SAP system, it will look, if the bank account number, whatever your bank account number is, they will treat it as your main bank account, your house bank. And the following number, the 1, so if your bank account number is, say, like I had put up over here for HSBC, I had taken 410 was the ending of my main account. The 411 became my checks issued out. 412 was wire transfers. 414 was checks received. So every time it has to look for account, you don't have to hard code everything. Otherwise, for every single account, you would have to write the account number, what is the account symbol, what is the GL account, and each bank would have this entire setup done. So when you have about 20, 30, 40, some bank companies have 100 bank accounts, you'll have to set this up 100 times. Now, if you set this up, it will work for every single bank account in the company. You can draw on this. So for every GL sub account ending in 4 would be a check received in. The GL sub account ending in 1 will be a check issued out. The main bank would be ending in 0. So this incoming checks will end in 9. Actually, this is Z check deposit is set up for check deposits. So you all can basically follow this screen for 91 this company code, and you all can set your configurations up. So these are what we call account symbols. The masking is done over here. So bank account, bank charges, check-in, check-out, interim posting, main branch, and wire transfers. These will be set up by y'all as account symbol. So the first is creating the account symbol. Next step is assigning the account symbols to accounts. So these are the account symbols created. These are the GL accounts it is assigned to. Next is posting keys. So basically, the same thing. You'll go to new entry and you have to do your set up your posting keys here. There's nothing very difficult in this part of it. So your posting keys will be you will have like A01, A02. These are the posting keys I have set up. Everything will be in the same sequence as you've done. So these are the posting keys that I've set up. A101 for check issued, A102 for wire transfers, A103 for reconciliation items, A104 for check received, and A105 is for bank charges. At your new entries, you have to set this up. So when you got the document, make sure you write everything into a table. Keep it handy so you can just copy paste it into the SAP customizing screens. All right. So create account symbol, assign account symbol to GL account, create posting keys, create keys for posting rules. Now you have to define the posting rules. So when you're defining the posting rules, what is it? It is basically comes down to your debits and credits. So for each of these accounts you have set up, you will have a posting rule done. So let's have a look at some of the posting rules that I have set up here. For checks out, so the debit 50. This is main bank account it will be touching. And these are the posting keys. These are all the posting keys set up by SAP standard. 50 is the credit entry. So when using this posting rule 101, the main account is to be credited. What is the document type which will be used? It will be used document type SA. And what is the posting type? Posting type is 4. What is 4? Clear GL account. So this is for checks out. Let us look at the checks in.
So for main account, we don't do the clearing, right?
Sorry,
For main account, we don't do the clearing.
I didn't catch that. For?
So 4 you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
4 is like the clearing, account clearing.
Clearing, yes. An account clearing is
So
going.
for main account, we don't do the clearing, right?
No. That means one hand, the credit would be going to the main account, but the debit amount is going to the clearing account.
Correct. Okay, so this 4 is for like the other leg of the entry would be like clearing.
Yes.
That's what I mean, right? Okay.
That's what it means. Okay. Let's look at the bank charges. So posting key for bank charges 40 debit. When the posting has to be done, if it's a bank charge, it will debit bank charges account. It will credit the main bank account. And the posting type will be 1, post to a GL account. So the options we have here: post to a GL account, post to a subledger account debit, a subledger account credit. If I use 2, it means it will have to go to the vendor or the accounts receivable or accounts payable, or one of the subledgers. Clear debit to a GL account, clear debit to a GL account, clear debit to a subledger account, reset and reverse clearing. These are the options we have over here. So for each one, the checks in, checks out, bank charges, main bank, we have to set this up. So this is the posting rule. This is where we define how everything is to be done by the system. In the next step, we create the transaction type. I have tried to make the note as clear as possible. Okay, so where did I set mine up? So we have to create so basically just name it. I chose A_91. This is a company code electronic bank statement. These are the external transactions which I've created: 701, 702, 703, and I've put it to the posting rule over here. So this is attached to posting rules. Now, in the last step, you have to assign your bank accounts to the bank keys, your bank accounts to your transaction types. So external, we have done this. This is 701801. Next new entry, you have to make sure that this information you keep handy. So the bank key, the bank account, what is the transaction type, the company code is in assign bank accounts to transaction type, and save it. Now the manual bank statement requires 2 additional steps. You have to create the business transactions for a check. You click on new entries. This is what you have to pick up. And you have to just fill in this part. You all can just follow what I've done. It will help you all to get it done there. And your bank's, okay, there's additional steps I've put in. I put in creating a variant, so you all can just follow it accordingly. Okay, now check deposits. So under bank accounting, business transactions, you will have check deposits. So not much difference from what I just run you all through. You create and assign your business transactions. You define posting keys, posting rules for check deposit. You define a variant for check deposit. You define the value dates and define forms. So first step is I have set up ZCHK. All right. So you go into new entries, you put your transaction posting rule or what you want done over here. So the basic information would be transaction, you have to name it. Posting rule, you have to create it. So, and what is it going to be? A direct check deposit. That is the first step. Second step, you create your account symbols as you have done in the previous. So I've created one account symbol which I've named Z check deposit. So this is what I created, Z check deposit. In the next step, you can use, I have used Z check deposit incoming check. 9 is for checks, incoming check is the GL account, the sub account ends with 9 for incoming check deposit. No difference from what we have done before.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP Corporate Training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
On the previous screen, when you are keys for posting,
Yes.
You said the pluses represent masking. So what if your GL account number is less than the number of pluses here? So let's say if it's a 5-digit GL, and if last digit matter, can I have plus and then 9 or
No, you just keep it right. Fill the entire field. This is for 10 digits. Put all 10 in, and the last one will be your number.
Okay, so what you're saying is just the last number of the GL matters?
The last number of the GL matters, because your GL bank accounts and the main account and the sub account should have a similar synergy right through. So every sub account of your main bank ending in 4 should be a check received in. If it's ending in 1, it should be a check issued out.
Oh, so I have to have 4? Is that what you're saying? I have to have
No,
4?
you can just set this up with, say, a main bank account, checks in, checks out. You don't need to have 4. So when you're doing your bank, you just main account, a checks in account, and a checks issued out account, and don't worry about the rest. And you create your bank statement on that basis. But just make sure that if your bank statement will end in 0, your checks received in should be for all 4, say ending in 4 or ending in 1, for every single sub account. You have to just remember that.
I'm actually still a little confused. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not going through me.
All right. Say you have one account HSBC.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are the transactions going to happen with this bank account of yours? You will either get some debits coming in.
Yes.
Some debits, or you'll get some credits.
Yes.
So some customers will pay you, and you'll pay some vendors. You'll have some bank charges.
Yes.
Okay. So every time you use your bank account, you'll either be debiting the account to pay someone, or crediting account because the customer paid you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really look at the account, it has basically 2 kinds of transactions coming in, credits and debits.
Mm-hmm.
So if your, say your sub account is 1,000, the main account is 1,000, then your, say, everything coming in can be flagged to a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And everything going out can be flagged to a 2.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm sorting my bank statement out, I'll have 2 columns, column 1, column 2. In column 1, I'll have all my credits. Column 2, I'll have all my debits.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what we are doing over here. By putting a 1, we have created a column where all checks issued out are coming into that 1 column.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
And where ending in a 4 means all the checks I've received come into 1 column. And in my bank charges, there's another column, all my bank charges go into that 1 column. Basically, that is what we are doing.
Okay. So does it have anything to do with the actual GL numbers I have created?
Yes, your main bank account, which is 0, I say everything has come into your main bank account, in your main bank account statement. From the main bank account statement, I made certain columns or silos, and everything coming into 1, which is received by me, checks issued by me, will also go into the main bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that is going out, which I'm paying, will go into the main bank account. But if I have everything coming into one main bank account, it is going to be difficult to reconcile.
Right.
So if I have a main bank account and under it I break it out into 4 parts, 4 columns. Everything going out into 1 column, everything coming in into 1 column, all bank charges into another column, makes it easy to reconcile. In one place, I have all the checks I've issued out. In one place, I have all the checks I've received in. So I can reconcile much easier.
Right, right. Yes.
So basically, that is what we are doing here.
Okay.
So the posting rule, I've created a posting rule over here, Z check. And the same column which we had done here before, I've just told SAP how it is to handle this. So if it is posting rule is for Z check, the posting key is 40 debit. The account symbol is check deposit. The document type is DSET. The posting type is 8. Clear a subledger account. I've already set up my bank, everything is done. So this is just another part of it for check deposits. So I'm sharing a new share again. I'm going back to the Word document for y'all. Can you see the Word document?
Yes.
So this is check deposit. I've given you all a screenshot of where you all will be on the screen. The first step is to create a posting rule. I've created the posting rule over here, new entry account. This will be the screen you will get, and you can change ZaranTech a deposit I've used basically because there'll be nothing after it, easy for you all to find. You save the entry. In the next step, you assign the account symbol. So basically, if you go to the account symbol, the other ones you created will come up. You just have to create a new entry, and your account symbol will be incoming check. The bank account here, in a bank you will pick up that bank you'd have already created. It's your main bank account, and your incoming check you'll add in. In the next step, you'll create posting key. It is just ZaranTech, direct check deposit. In the next step, you'll define the posting rule and how you want it done. So basically, you can just copy what you have done over here. I've copied 04 and I then modify 04 with what I have created, which is ZaranTech deposit. So I've done a little extra, so you all can go through the little extra that I've maintained the variant. So you all will, it's not much difficult. I've given a small exercise you all can follow here. So you all will get little hands-on on the system. And the cash journal. I don't want to go into this cash journal today. I think doing this will take you all quite some time. I think this is enough configurations for you all for one day.
Can you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
So this is the company code I've created, BL01.
Okay.
Yeah. So this I want to assign, right?
So go back to that enterprise structure.
Yeah.
Go to definition.
No, assignment, right?
Definition.
Okay.
Go to financial accounting.
Yeah.
And edit company code. Company code, right? Not the company. All right. So edit company code data. Yeah, go there where you were. Edit. Edit, copy, delete company code.
Okay.
We want to have a look at what you've done. Edit company code data. Second one. Okay. Now position and just type your company code in.
It doesn't appear here.
Yeah, that means you did not save it.
But if I see in the defined company, I can see right?
That there's a difference between company and company code. Can someone can one of you, we have done company and company code. So can someone tell us the difference between company and company code? Anyone?
Company is the organization, and the company codes like maybe different subsidiary companies.
So probably when you define a company will be like Reliance Group.
Yeah, correct.
And your company code will be Reliance Retail.
Yeah.
Or it will be Reliance Broadband. Or it would be Reliance Oil and Gas.
Yeah.
So you have not created your, you have created a company which is Reliance Group, but you have not yet created your group, your individual companies under Reliance, which is your company codes.
Okay.
So you created the group company, Reliance Group, but now Reliance Petrochemicals, Reliance Mobile, now you have to create the company code. You first need to create the company code, and then there's a difference between company and company code. I stressed on this at the start.
Okay, sure, got it.
Okay, so now you create your company code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.